Characteristics of Muslims. The message of Islam is one of the important heavenly messages, rather it is at the forefront of all of them, as it is its conclusion and unifying all of them, and the prophecy has ended, and the Muslim today falls upon the responsibility of conveying and spreading this great message, and in the midst of the Muslim carrying the great message of Islam, there are necessary qualities that must be available. Otherwise, the Muslim will lose the effective influence, and the motivation and ability to respond to the one who is invited will be lost, and Muslims certainly differ from each other in the degree to which these qualities are achieved in them. Overall availability. Characteristics of Muslims. Good example, the Muslim should be a role model for others, in what he calls to, or forbids, in terms of qualities and actions. A good example has a good effect on the speed of response, and its ability to begin with. Honesty, that the Muslim is characterized by honesty, in his words and actions, and honesty is one of the reasons for the spread of Islam in a period of time. Trust, and the character of a Muslim with the creation of trust, in speech and action, has a good effect on the positive influence of a Muslim on others, and in spreading his belief. Humility and lowering, which is also a positive trait. Altruism, by giving preference to others over himself in what he needs, and this has its good effects also. Cooperation, and it is a social characteristic that reflects the extent of the penetration of social relations between Muslims, and the extent of the cohesion and interdependence of society. Love, for a Muslim loves his Muslim brother for the same message that unites them, not for a transient worldly interest, but for values and principles that are firmly rooted in mountains. Sacrifice, by which a Muslim sacrifices himself or his money for the sake of the idea that he carries, and sacrifice has many forms, so it is the soul in specific cases, and it is with money, time, and effort, and Muslims certainly vary in the degree of that. Generosity, and generosity, which is also a positive characteristic, and includes a kind of material sacrifice, and it has positive and positive effects. The effect of having these qualities. And the availability of these qualities has a great impact on the call, the message, and the dissemination of the great message of Islam. The truth, and let the Muslim, with his goodness, set out towards the world as an influential preacher, thus realizing in himself the true soldiery of this religion. The effect of the absence of these characteristics. And the absence of these qualities has a negative impact on its owner, and on the message that he carries, giving a negative image of Islam, and being a stumbling block in its spread, and thus alienating people from it, and it may reach his position as hostility, and standing from him in a negative position. How many campaigners of Islam did they misbehave in carrying him? and how many advocates of Islam were alienated from him, and their misuse of it led to the poisoning of social relations and the severing of ties and bonds between people. Finally, the Muslim has the duty to convey his call, and one of the requirements of conveying the message is that the Muslim has good qualities and the necessary morals in this, and his commitment to them, and he has followed the path of true preachers and the path of the messengers and prophets, and by not committing to them, he has presented a negative image of himself first, and his message second,